We're 3 months into 2025 and I'm still long the yen. If you watched the video at the beginning of the year, my video January 2025, I gave my forecast, my bias, my analysis for Q1 2025. And my bias was this: buy the yen, buy the US dollar, sell the Canadian dollar, sell the New Zealand dollar. 3 out of 4 were correct. We have a stronger yen, we have a weaker New Zealand dollar, a weaker Canadian dollar. We don't have a stronger dollar, US dollar. So 3 out of 4 were correct, and I had some great trades. Selling the New Zealand dollar, selling the Canadian dollar, buying the yen. It's paid off and I'm showing a profit for 2025, although a very slim profit. But to be honest with you, I think any trader that can show a profit from the last 3 months of trading, especially a stock trader, is incredibly impressive. So I'm just thankful, that I am actually showing a profit. It's been very unique. It's been very challenging. It's been hard trading so far in 2025, but I am in profit. So what's my forecast for Q2? What do I expect to happen April, May, June of 2025? I'm still long the yen. The yen is an obvious buy. You have interest rates rising. In Japan, the Bank of Japan is steadily, very slowly, but steadily increasing rates, whereas the rest of the world are either pausing rates or starting to bring interest rates down. And even in the US, everything that's happening and has happened the last few months, I wouldn't be surprised if the Federal Reserve starts cutting rates. So you even have the US cutting rates, the Bank of Japan putting rates up. So we could see some moves on US dollar yen to the downside, a stronger yen. On top of interest rates, you have good economic figures, good economic indicators coming out of Japan, and it's a safe haven. We've seen the yen strengthen the last 12 hours with the whole Trump tariff announcements. It's a safe haven and it's an obvious buy. It's just an obvious buy to me. Interest rates, safe haven status, good economic indicators. I will continue to buy the yen, and I'm still long the yen now. Don't get me wrong. I don't think there'll be drastic moves. If there is, I have positions open. Obviously, that's fantastic. Volatility is your friend if you're on the right side of the volatility. I think it'll be very slow strength. I think we might see like a slow kind of choppy uptrend for the yen, which is a downtrend on CAD yen, US dollar yen, New Zealand dollar yen, pound yen, euro yen, etc. So I'm still long the yen, and I think the yen will continue to strengthen. What else am I looking to trade? The Australian dollar. I think the Australian dollar is very oversold. I think it's very undervalued. You have interest rates which will likely stay higher for longer. We might see a slight cut, but I think they're going to stay higher for longer. We have good economic figures coming out of Australia. I personally don't know why it's so weak at the moment. I think it should be stronger. And all the Australian dollar selling we've seen the last few months, I think it will reverse. Maybe not entirely, but I think we will start to see some Australian dollar strength. So that's my bias. I don't have a list of 4, only 2. The yen and the Australian dollar. I'm expecting both of them to strengthen. That's my fundamental bias. That's what I'll be looking to trade the next few months. What do I think about the US dollar? The US dollar is so difficult to trade at the moment. And we've seen that in the price action. It's been pretty much sideways, but we are seeing US dollar weakness after Trump's tariff announcements, Liberation Day, as he called it. It's so difficult because we have a fairly weak dollar, or a weakening dollar at the moment, and Trump is implementing tariffs on imports. All this pushes to higher inflation. And you would think with higher inflation that you're going to have interest rate hikes and a stronger dollar. And I think Trump does want a stronger dollar because that offsets the tariffs, the cost of the tariffs, the higher import costs. On the flip side of that, we have the US potentially heading into recession, and everything happening in the US could lead to lower growth, less spending, and there are cracks of recession. Nothing significant, but there are potentially cracks of recession starting to appear. You may have the Federal Reserve start cutting rates prematurely to try and keep things going, keep things stimulated. So if you've got recession and interest rate cuts, you've got a weaker dollar. So you got two sides. I don't have a strong bias either way, and I think we could see it continue to be quite choppy, up and down. Saying that, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a surprise upside for the dollar, but I don't really have any evidence, any analysis to support that, apart from I think that's what Trump wants, and he might start doing things to make that happen, to stimulate upside. But at the moment, I don't really have a bias for the dollar. I will continue to try and buy the dollar, but not as much as trying to buy the yen and the Australian dollar. So that's my analysis. I don't think the last few months have been a money-making opportunity in FX. I think the money the last few months has been made in gold, and it's been made in short selling the stock market. When you compare the moves that have happened in gold and in stock indices, they're huge compared to FX. FX has been very quiet. So it's been very hard to make money. Things have been choppy. You need that volatility. You need that direction. You need trends to make money in Forex. And it just hasn't been there. So I'm happy that I'm showing a profit for 2025, seeing everything that's gone on, but it has been very difficult, and I'm a bit disappointed with how things are going. But we'll carry on. We'll keep going. I've got 3 positions open at the moment, which are in profit, which are doing well, and hopefully that continues. Let me know your analysis. What are your thoughts about the dollar? What are your thoughts about the yen? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? The Australian dollar? Let me know. Let me know if any of you shorted the S&P 500 or the Russell or something like that and benefited from the downside. I'll speak to you in another video.